being 22 years old in a day and age like this, when I tell you, being 22 years old, I feel like in a time where we live in a generation, in an era right now where social media is like very heavily used. Um, you know, so many different emotions flying, trying to figure out who you are as a person when the world is telling you who you should be and what aesthetic you should go for. It's so much that I feel like if you're a young person or in your 20s, especially early 20s, and you're just now figuring out what you want to do for school, you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, or you are in this weird state where you're trying to figure out your life and trying to figure out what direction you want to take. I feel you. Like, it's just, even as being my I became a licensed esthetician in 2022. And since I became licensed, I took so many twists and turns with my career. I went from being a hairstylist to being a full-time esthetician to being very happy with that, but then leaving that job because I was unhappy with the work environment and going and starting my own business, and that just being on a constant rise and constant fall, just a lot of things. The one thing that I can say, you will see the most success in whatever you decide to do when you decide to be disciplined and try your best. I would say a lot of things that I failed at, especially right now in these times, I can self-reflect, look back on the things that I failed at or failed on and say, that was because of this. That was because of my lack of discipline. That was me lacking emotional maturity. That was me XYZ. But I feel like that's what your early 20s are for. It's for phasing out of teenagehood and learning how to become an adult. I feel like a lot of the times people, like, your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. Your frontal lobe develops when you're 25. The world is just a really crazy place. It's a lot of crazy things going on in today's world. You know, like I said, it's a lot of portrayals on the internet, and I know it can leave a lot of people, especially younger people, feeling like so lost, or it can leave a lot of younger people feeling like they don't know what the heck they have going on, or what do they, they have to do more. But I firmly believe that in order to achieve the dream life that you want, you have to work for it. You have to work hard for it, no matter if that's a 9 to 5, no matter if that's you joining the military, the Navy, the whatever it may be, you doing Amazon Flex, you doing the warehouse job, the ins and odds job. You have to start somewhere. You have to do something, because one thing about it, I don't care. For me, a job is a job. And one thing about me, one thing you can say, and one thing everybody can say when they see me, it don't matter what job it is. I might have a different job every time you see me, but like Trish, I'm gonna have me a job and I'm gonna keep me a job. Well, I don't know about keep a job, but one thing about me, if I lose one job or if I go from one job, I'm gonna have another. So it's all just about mindset and how disciplined are you to get to where you want to be, and do you have goals in place? You always have to have a goal intended, whether it be short term or whether it be long term. You have to have something that you're working towards, because if you don't, then where's the challenge in that, and where's the where's the growth? It's just a really taxing time being young, given especially a lot of things within this climate going on, and not only with this climate but just everything that's going on in the world. It's a very draining time. But in these moments, the one thing that is helping me, besides the sertraline, is knowing that every single day that I'm being woken up, it's one more day to do what God has intended, and that my job isn't done yet here. So just think of every single day as the chance to be 1% better, to achieve things. You just have to start with something, start somewhere. Just because I know better than anybody that it can be a lot trying to figure out, what you want out of life, what you're doing, where you're going, who you want to be. It can sometimes be so confusing, and it can be so draining. It can be so depressing being so young and wanting better for yourself, and wanting to build this life for yourself, and wanting to be this self-sufficient. And when you're not there, when you're not where you want to be, you get so discouraged and you get so down, and you get, and I feel like it's just human nature for us to sometimes want things or foresee things and want to reach so far ahead of us, to a point where we can't even appreciate what's in front of us because we're too busy trying to reach and reach and reach. But I'm just basically here to tell you that if you are in your 20s, your early 20s, late teens, and you are in school, going back to school, enrolling in school for the first time, starting a new job, new 9 to 5, if you are starting any job, starting a fast food job, it doesn't even matter. As long as you are doing something that you are supporting yourself or supporting your responsibilities, you're doing just fine. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because that's what your early 20s is for. Figuring it out, okay? You don't have to have a house and 3 cars with 2 kids by 25. That's a narrative that social media pushes. You don't have to have everything that you see or that you think, because a lot of the times, if you look back to your 16-year-old self, because I know me, I look back to my old self, and where I am right now, I did not think at all that I would be when I was 16. My 16-year-old self, I wanted a lot for myself and things that I thought that I wanted, but now, as I've grown, as I've experienced, and as I've learned, it's a whole different mind shift. So that's what your 20s is about. It's about experiencing, learning from those experiences, and growing from those experiences. So that is the best advice that I could give anybody who's in their 20s, early 20s, late teens, that are trying to figure it out. You'll get it figured out, but just take it one step at a time. Get your responsibilities in order. If you don't, set some goals, whether it be long-term, short-term. Get some sort of plan going of what you want. You have to have a goal in mind. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, because me being Christian, I'm a firm believer in God. Definitely he will order our steps. But if you are not walking by faith, if you are not stepping out on faith, if you are not listening to him, if you are not in your word, if you are not paying attention to the signs and paying attention to what he's saying to you and what he's telling you to do, then you're definitely, I'm a firm believer in, you're going to be confused. You're going to be lost. So that's just what that is. But I would just say, if you truly want to be a better person, or if you want to create a better life for yourself, or if you want to better your circumstances, it all starts with you. But just realize, change what you can. Where you can change things, try to change them. Some things out of your control. Everything really is out of your control. But for the things that you have control over and that you can change, you can change them. I always tell people, any circumstance that you're in, 9 times out of 10, you can turn things around, and you can change things around. But it is dependent upon you and your effort. So yeah, I'm so random. I'm so sorry, but this is a fan. I got this fan from Thailand. It is too cute. I'm so random.